It's a Mom's Life.
Hello to all the moms out there. Welcome to It's a Mom's Life on Active FM with me, D and Thando. So we're going to get into this. Last week we spoke about things that you need to look out for that could be hazardous to your children, and it may be a good thing to even go on and listen to the show if you've missed it, because there may be some things that you can pick up on that you didn't even think about previously.
Being a new mom can be daunting, especially if you don't have someone to help you, or you don't have your mother around to show you, what to do and what not to do. So today we are looking at some of the common questions mom would ask, and hopefully this will help you if you're a new mom.
Hey, wake up. It's the family's here. Can you hear them? Listen. Can you hear them? It's them. It's the fam. Yeah.
Active FM radio has never been better.
Okay, so these questions are common questions that mamab.com has recorded that are asked by parents or moms. And I mean, I'm sure there's so many more, and we could probably do, another 2 or 3 shows on this, because there's just so much more. So, message us on Facebook, tell us your questions that you would like answered. But the first one that they came up with, or that was quite popular, was how long should I breastfeed? It says on mamab.com. Now, I tried breastfeeding for up to a year, and I just couldn't do the teeth biting thing. So eventually I stopped. But according to mamab.com, it's recommended to breastfeed babies for the first 6 months. This helps avoid food intolerance and protects your baby from any infectious diseases. After that, you can still breastfeed and gradually introduce other food. The longer you breastfeed, the longer you and your baby can benefit from its health effects. So, I know in some cases people say to breastfeed for up to a year or even 2 years. But I think, it starts getting a bit weird after the age of 2.
Yeah,
so, I don't know.
At 2 years old, this person is a full-grown human being with teeth. So, if you do that, God bless you. If you breastfeed after 2, God bless you.
Yeah, I know.
The second question is, how often should I sterilize bottles and pacifiers? Keeping your baby safe is top priority, obviously, moms, right? So it's important to regularly sterilize the bottles and the pacifier. So it's recommended to sanitize them before first use and then frequently after that. However, it is not necessary to do it after every use, as some people did, not me. So you can wash them on a daily basis after that, and just put them on the dishwasher dryer there on top so they don't fall through the bottom. As simple as that.
So just to reiterate, we are getting our information from mamab.com.
Yeah.
And this was guys, I was so paranoid at one point. Every feed, I would go and, drive myself crazy and rinse out, not rinse, literally clean out and put in sterilize and so I feel a little stupid now.
I know,
so,
you're not the only one, eh?
Oh, okay, cool. So next time if I have another baby, so Thando, you can start now. Yes, we'll just do it once a day then. We're going to be listening to a song now from Reactive, the movement, called Passion. So enjoy.
Hi, my name is Mignon and I'm a worship leader at Hillsong Church, Pretoria, and you are listening to Active FM. Christ music is hot music.
Okay, so that was awesome. The next one is not a fantastic topic. Green poop. Is green poop normal?
That's a good one.
Yes, it is normal for your newborn to excrete green poop, or it's actually called meconium. Sometimes it maybe looks even blackish, since it's composed of materials ingested inside the uterus. It's going to come out viscous and sticky and like odorless. From being dark olive green, it'll eventually become lighter in shade when breastfeeding. Your baby's poop will look either yellow or green. So yes, ladies, it's important to look at the color of your child's stool because the color tells you a lot about your baby's health. So from the first excretion, which is like, greenish, blackish, tar looking, to when you're breastfeeding, to when you do formula, to to when they start eating, it's all important to know what the color looks like and what the colors are. And if they're bad, such as black stool at an older age, would probably need medical attention. You would need to watch something like that. And I've even some of my kids, my kids, and it happened to both of them, where their stool actually came out like white. And I even got really nervous about that, but apparently it's not good if it carries on. So sometimes these things happen, so we don't stress. But to know the color of your child's stool is important, especially if they're at an age where they're not looking at it themselves. Just keep an eye out.
Sure, that's interesting, because I never thought to pay attention to that, if it was white or green, or usually it's green or yellowish.
Yes.
And then I'm like, oh, whatever. But it's not a thing that I'm every time I change, I'm paying attention to the color. What color is it?
Don't get paranoid.
No, it's a good thing to know, because when you're saying now it was white, it's but why?
Yeah.
Did the doctor tell you why?
So no, I didn't go to the doctor actually.
Okay.
I do not. Don't Google stuff, people.
Yes.
It's very bad. But I did happen to at that point. But sometimes it could be a mucosal problem where where something in the liver, I think, is not clearing out stuff like it should, and then it needs to be checked. But it only happened once or twice. If it carries on happening, it's a good idea to go to the doctor.
No, that's good to know. Thank you, Denise.
Cool.
Thank you to The next question is, how do I clean my baby's umbilical cord? I think this is a good one, because also when I had my first child, I was terrified of that thing, because it looked sensitive, it looked sore, it looked all the things. So it will take about 1 to 2 weeks before the umbilical cord dries up and falls off. In the meantime, it will need proper care to avoid irritation and infection. So you understand why I was freaking out.
Yeah.
Maybe some moms will be freaking out too, especially if it's a first child. You can consult your pediatrician on how to properly clean it. The general rule, however, is to keep the area clean and dry and, let it heal naturally. And for me, I use surgical spirit with all my kids, because that's what was recommended by the doctors. Clean it after every nappy change. Just clean it with the cotton wool and the umbilical cord around the
navel area.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks very painful, but it's actually not.
Yeah.
So I'm a pro now, because I'm doing it. Well, I did it a few weeks ago with my newborn and it fell off. So it's not that bad, but it is quite scary the first time you encounter that thing. You're like, ooh, is it painful? Am I hurting him? And it's actually normal.
So just can I just reiterate, ladies, do not take it off yourself. Let it fall off, okay?
Please don't.
Just don't think that's not supposed to be there. Yeah, don't do that, because that can cause infections. Yes. So the next one: should I wake a sleeping baby to feed him? So it says in mamab.com, several factors affect whether you should wake a sleeping baby for feeding, including age, weight, and overall health. It's important to feed your baby frequently during the first few weeks to help regain the weight lost from birth. This means you'll have to occasionally wake your baby for feeding. You can stop doing this once your baby develops a pattern of weight gain. So a wise doctor once said to me, this is my, experience, that you shouldn't wake a baby to feed, for them to feed, him or her to feed, because they'll wake up and feed when they're hungry. Now, I'm saying that it's important to follow your own doctor's advice, especially with their health issues. Every child is different. You can't go, oh, Denise did it, so I'll do it. Definitely not. I had a baby that was underweight, so you want to find that professional to tell you what to do and what not to do. And there was a time where I actually decided on my own that I would wake the child and feed the child, etc. But it's do speak to the professionals. Don't just not do it because it might be important.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Because with my latest baby now, he had jaundice, so he was being treated in the blue light. So every 2 hours, I had to feed him on demand, because it helps breastfeeding, or whether it's bottle or whatever, it helps flush out, the jaundice from the baby. Okay. So I had to wake him up every 2 hours to feed if he didn't wake up. But he was waking up anyway. But if he didn't, I would definitely wake up, because it was necessary for the situation that he was in.
There's a health issue, yeah.
So definitely, like Denise said, follow your professional's advice, whoever your doctor is, and say, for health reasons, do this or do that.
Definitely. We're going to listen to Hosanna from Skywalker featuring TJ.
Skywalker made it.
Had me singing Hosanna, Hosanna, singing Hosanna, 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 Hosanna. Had me singing Hosanna, Hosanna. No, this not no fable. I can't doubt my Lord is able. Born right out of stable, eating at the royal table. Scripture sweet like maple. Don't hang with fools, this ain't April. Man, this road unstable. Is this what you trusting in? Without Christ, how you gon' win? How is you gon' win? When I came to Christ, I started battling my sin. See you in the end, hope you gon' ride to the end. Yeah, see you in the end, hope you gon' ride to the end. To die in Christ, that's gain. Man, it's worth the pain. I think it's insane to sell your soul for some fame. Meditating on his word, he be dropping all them jewels. Every time I listen, I feel like I'm back in school, yeah. He's singing Hosanna, Hosanna, singing Hosanna, 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 Hosanna. Had me singing Hosanna, Hosanna.
Yeah. No, this not no fable. God the one who made you. Every knee gon' bow down. Jesus coming from the crowd, yeah. Jesus coming back, dog. The Lord is my shepherd. I will never lack, dog. Lack, dog. Jesus died for your sins, and that's a fact, dog. Split out time right in half. I let you do the math. Before Christ, I was dead, all in my trespass. If I sin, Holy Spirit gonna address that. Gotta repent, treasure my mind. Gotta be sent, preaching my lines, reading the word, yeah, it's divine. End of the age, yeah, it's the time, yeah. 2 Timothy chapter 3, well, when I step outside, that's what I see.
Hosanna, Hosanna, singing Hosanna, 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 Hosanna. Had me singing Hosanna, Hosanna.
Active, active, active worship. Active, active, oh, hey. Active, active, active worship. Active worship, you can find us on the gram, you feel me? Instagram at Active Worship, we on books, you feel me? Facebook, click the follow since you're in it, keep listening. Apple Music, oh, it got you dancing, keep streaming. Spotify, it got you smiling, keep streaming. Oh, and Deezer, got your moves looking easy, cause we cool like that. Search Active Worship and listen, cause we cool like that. Christ music is hot music.
Check out their amazing music by Active Worship on all platforms.
Okay, so question 6. When can I take my newborn out in public?
That's a good one too.
Yes. So, mamab.com, there are no hard and fast rules when it comes to taking your newborn out in public. While some doctors and parents wait until their babies are a few months old, you can still take your newborn outside for a walk or for fresh air. However, it's best to avoid crowded places, which can expose your baby to disease. So, I guess now in COVID times, things have changed. Everyone has their, views. But post-COVID, my baby came to church with me, like days after I had him. Like, as in, like, maybe in 4 days, like right there and then, after I had him. And I'm happy to say he's fine. There's no hard and fast rule. Just trust God when it comes to that. So obviously, I know there's different, families and beliefs and traditions and all of that jazz. And, you want to be able to follow certain things, but also make sure that you're doing things for yourself and not just the family and just because someone says so. Actually do it because you have a conviction, or if the child obviously has a problem or is low in immunity, don't be silly and go and take them out. Again, it's up to the individual, the child, and their health.
Yeah, no, just to add on that, because I gave birth during these COVID times. And before, if a mom needs to go bath or you need to go use the restroom or whatever, you would ask another mom to watch your baby.
Yeah.
And if your baby cries, that mom would take the baby to try and console them. But now, that's not allowed at all. You're not allowed to touch anyone's baby. You let that baby cry and scream until the mother comes back. Because of COVID, they say, that what if you make this child sick? And it's a real thing out there. To not touch other people's babies, in public spaces where there's COVID, etc., etc. So be mindful of that. The next one is, what is the proper way to dress a newborn? These questions, they're so awesome. I'm really loving the questions here. So it's important to keep your newborn warm, right? So it is best to dress them in layers. However, you also need to make sure they're still comfortable. To avoid wrapping them in heavy blankets. So when I went to the clinic for the 3-day checkup for my baby, so I had just one layer, like just one blanket on him, and obviously he was dressed in a vest and a baby grow, whatever. And when I entered the room where the nurses are checking the babies in, they were like, "Oh, thank goodness you're not wrapping this child with layers and layers and layers of blanket." Because I think every mom just wants to keep their child warm and safe. And sometimes they say it's actually not good because other kids get too hot and they can get a heat stroke under those layers. So it's important to just dress them, take it easy, especially in summer, moms. Don't put layers and layers and layers and layers of blankets, as long as they're, dressed warm and they're wrapped nicely inside and they're comfortable. So they're not having fits and fainting under the blanket, and the next thing you open the blankets, you thought the baby was breathing, but now they've
listen, babies can get hot. I've often heard people say dress your child the way you would dress. So if I'm hot today, I'm not going to put on 2 jackets and a blanket. Same with your child. Your child is probably going to be hot too. So, we're going to end off today, and that felt a little bit short. So we're going to try and find some more questions. If you guys don't post, so make sure you post. So 1 Peter 5 verse 7, it says, and it speaks, casting all your anxieties on him because he cares for you.
That's awesome.
Casting all your anxieties, not just a little bit. Sometimes we get anxiety as a mom, or we feel frustrated, or we feel like, oh my word, am I doing the right thing? Cast all of that on him because he cares for you. God cares for you. Whatever the question, let the Holy Spirit lead and guide you. And if things like breastfeeding need to be stopped due to certain reasons, or you don't feel bad or get frustrated, just trust God. If you're not sure, pray and ask God and ask him to lead you and guide you. Trust God in everything. It's so important, because I think we can, condemn ourselves in terms of, I'd stopped breastfeeding early, or I didn't breastfeed at all, or I had a C-section and not a natural, or whatever. We can beat ourselves up about silly things like this. Don't. Just trust God. And if there's a decision that you need to make, chat to your husband. If you don't have a husband, get to God, chat to God, and go, Lord, I need you to lead me and guide me. I want to do your will here. So it's really important throughout motherhood, throughout parenthood, to make sure that you actually get into God. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. Get to God.
Get to God, yes. So we're going to end off today. So we hope that you had an awesome time. But we're going to chat more next week. We're going to end off with a song by J. Moss called Love Like That. Enjoy, moms.
Enjoy.
So much and always be there for us. How can you be so patient? How do you keep on waiting? How do you keep on blessing in the midst of my sin? How do you love like that? Your supernatural love for me. How do you love like suffer brutality. It's a love greater than a mother. It's a love that's given by no other. How can you be so tolerant? Forgive my mistake in spite of it. How could you look beyond every fault and see all my good inside of it? In the history of my being, I never felt love so deep without a reason. Out of all the feelings I've experienced, I can't explain what is given. Love like that, a supernatural love for me. Love like that, enough to suffer scrutiny. Oh yeah, it's a love greater than a mother's. Love like that, it's a love given by no other. Now they can research all the books of old, but they won't find a better story told. A love that'll make you give up yourself. They won't find a better expression from nobody else but you. I know I'm not supposed to understand it, but how? How do you love like that? A supernatural love. Love me like that. How could you do it? How could you do it? Everything you had to go through. Thank you, Lord. It's a love greater than a mother. I don't get it, but I need it. I'm indebted and I mean it. Oh, yeah.
Enjoying the Active FM shows? Well, then catch us on Instagram at ActiveFM777, Twitter and Gab at ActiveFM, Facebook at ActiveFM/777, as well as YouTube at ActiveFM and our website at www.activefm.co.za. Don't stop, don't hesitate. Find, follow and enjoy us on all our different platforms. You don't want to miss out.